Everybody in Scotland's got on the train. Everybody's heard the train announcer lady pronouncing the names of places wrong. Remember when she used to pronounce Mulngavi and everything? Well, basically, they've not hired her again for like new stops and stuff, but they're actually using AI as a clone of her voice without paying her for it, and she's a bit upset about that. A woman who believes her voice has been used to create Scotrail's new AI generated announcement system is calling for it to be removed from trains. Scotrail recently introduced a synthetic Scottish voice to make onboard announcements in place of pre recorded human announcers. Voiceover artist Diane Porter said the artificial announcer, which is marketed as an imaginary character called Iona, was trained by Swedish technology firm Reed Speaker using her voice. Reed Speaker told BBC Scotland News it had already addressed Miss Porter's concerns several times. ScotRail said it had no plans to remove Iona, and the dispute between the company and the dispute was between the company and the voiceover artist. Ms. Potter said she did some work for Reed Speaker in 2021, which she was told would be used for accessibility and e learning software. But 2 years later, when the job was largely forgotten, a friend sent her a link to Reed Speaker's website. Ms. Potter opened the page to find Iona, a text to speech program marketed as a red haired woman standing in a Scottish glen. It is my voice. I'm absolutely certain it's my voice, she said. I was horrified. The quality of it was dreadful. Bet she wishes it looked like that. Last week, Miss Potter discovered The Voice was being introduced across ScotRail after reading a BBC Scotland online story. It told how some passengers had expressed unhappiness with their new artificial announcer. I know, I want the OG announcer that pronounced all the names of Scottish places wrong. I want her. One passenger said, it was weird. I could tell it was AI because it sounded so robotic. Miss Potter, who said she had been in dispute with Reed Speaker for 2 years, revealed that after reading the online story, she burst into tears. After the years that I've gone through to try and have my data removed, it's still being used, she said. I also have to look on social media and see people mocking it, berating it. They don't realise it's actually a real person who's been put through a dreadful voice app. Miss Potter added, it's hard enough for people in the creative industries to sustain careers, but to be competing with a robotic version of yourself just adds insult to injury. Who's that? Reed Speaker markets its products, including Iona, as an AI voice generator, but it said all of its programs are based on human voice talent. The firm uses a text to speech model that means a user can type anything and Iona will read it out loud. The technology uses artificial intelligence learning, but AI needs something to learn from. In this instance, it is voice recordings of an accent or language it is trying to emulate. In response to the complaints, the tech firm said Reed Speaker is aware of Miss Potter's concerns and has comprehensively addressed these with Miss Potter's legal representative several times in the past. Jennifer Cassie, partner at law firm Denton, said there was a gap when it came to some protections against AI usage. She said copyright extended to literary and artistic works, but not likeness or image. At the moment, there is no protection for image and voice in the UK, Miss Cass said. It is something that is being considered in the context of the AI copyright consultation, which recently closed. Miss Cass added, there is a question about whether copyright should be expanded to cover likeness and image and to prevent the creation of digital replicas as well. Historical contracts. Liam Budd is an industrial officer for recorded media at UK trade union Equity, which represents 50,000 workers throughout the creative industries. He said, sadly, this is just one example of many performers who have their image or voice used to generate digital replicas without their full informed consent. This is a real concern. Our members are effectively competing in a marketplace with AI systems that have been trained on their own image and voice without their consent. Their likeness is effectively being hijacked. Ms. Potter says that AI had developed massively in the past 4 years and a lot of historical contracts were not fit for purpose. She added, why would I give my voice away that was going to do me out of work forever? That's nuts. Ms. Potter also believed that her work should be covered by GDPR, UK and EU data protection regulations, and that her consent should have been required for Reed Speaker to sell a commercial programme. She contacted the Information Commissioner's Office, the regulatory body which advises on data data protection rights established by UK law. But it said that the case was outside its jurisdiction as the data was controlled by ReadSpeaker, which obviously is a foreign company. Ms. Potter said she was now asking her lawyers to approach Scotrail to request the announcements be removed. She said if Scotrail want to do the right thing, I'm happy to do their voice announcements. At least I know how to say more, guy. See, that's that was good. There you go. Well, basically, see, in this case, yeah, she would be the owner of the copyright, and they've clearly used her voice without her permission. So basically, there should be some recompense coming her way at the very least. Now, uh, one thing that I'm very, very fortunate about is AI voice creators at the moment. They cannot handle Scottish accents because I've had everybody in my Discord trying to make AI audio recordings of me saying some heinous things, saying things like calling for TND and all that, and basically they've been funny. There's me like singing songs and stuff like that, but the AI technology isn't quite there yet because it always starts with me doing a Scottish accent for maybe like 5 or 6 words, and then right after that it's just my voice doing an American accent. So AI doesn't quite have the Scottish accent down yet. I mean, voice recognition software doesn't do the Scottish voice either. Like, see how, but it's like, oh, and so if you can't be bothered typing, you can just hit the microphone thing, and you can it like writes down what you say. Not if you're Scottish. No, it does not. No, it fucking does not. So we don't bother with that. Voice recognition technology not popular here because it never bloody works. In regards to this, though, there's a huge argument that's been had over AI image generation because AI is generating images based on other people's work. Now, there's arguments to be had there where it's using other people's work and it's a learning engine and then it's creating other works based on this work. But you could also make the same argument for artists that use other people's work as inspiration to create their own stuff and all that. However, it's a case of, apparently, according to the article, is this voice wasn't used as an inspiration of, it's literally just this woman's voice. They've just used her voice and used it to create an AI model, which I do believe she is due some recompense over. And also, I don't like the fact that Scotrail are doing this. Yeah, I want, like, the woman that pronounces all the Scottish names wrong. I want that. It's cultural, because whenever it came on the train, there was always some person that would go, it's Mulgari, and everyone like, and that was a cultural thing. Why am I so defensive about things that happen on Scottish trains? This has become a trend on this channel, and I have no idea why. It's probably because I've had to get the train into Glasgow like my entire life. So it's important. It's culturally important. However, in regards to the AI stuff, yeah, there's definitely arguments to be had about copyright and stuff like that, or an argument could be made it's just an inspiration for work like other artists do. However, it's a conversation that I'm not qualified to have.